Hello guys, good morning from Dhaka, Bangladesh. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be doing a couple of episodes. First episode I'm going to do a fragrance re-review, or you can say revisit. Sometimes I do that, from the past. This particular fragrance is from House of Dolce&Gabbana, and it's a, you know, flanker to one of the classic fragrance called Dolce&Gabbana Purom. This fragrance nowadays nobody talks about it anymore, but this is a small vintage I have still out of like all my collection. I had the vintage version full bottle of it, like a big bottle 75 ml, as well as the newer version that was made in France, I think, or Germany. So I don't have that big bottles anymore, those big bottles anymore, but I live with this. This is a classic, you can say, fresh citrus, and then the tobacco fragrance. So the other fragrance, which is from the line, there's also the Dolce& Gabbana Purom light blue line, and then their flankers. But this was the only flanker I know of from Dolce& Gabbana Purom. This is the Intenso. I reviewed this some 4 years back, okay? And then I will tell you a story why I'm revisiting this and why did I have to get it. And lucky for me, I got the older version. So yeah, we'll talk about the Intenso, okay? So this particular fragrance is not really readily available that much in our country. I'm not quite sure if they discontinued this, but this is sort of like a fragrance I had a love and hate relationship with. I sold off my bottle of Intenso a few years back for a reason that I was not reaching for it anymore. Moment I sold it, sometimes it happens, like when you sell it, that you start having a little bit of a regret. Sorry, hold on. Yeah, sorry, the light, I really have to change that light. The backlight is really like blinking. I think I have some issue with the connection. Anyway, so I was saying that I had a love and hate relationship. I forgot where I was. Okay. And then I sold it off, then I started missing it. Sometimes it happens, sell it after a few months, you're like looking for it, like, especially if the fragrance is kind of unique. So it's a rookie mistake sometimes to let fragrances go in a rush, and I did not let it go for a rush. Okay, this is going to be more of a in discussion rather than review. I sort of had that fragrance and I was like not reaching for it that much, and that's why I sold it. But then, some fragrances which are kind of unique, you sort of realize later that, oh man, this is getting harder to find, and it's kind of unique, and it's not your typical run-in-the-mill fragrance, and I want it back. I've been looking for it for a good deal. I couldn't find anywhere. Now it's much more expensive than before. So the Intenso right now for 125 mil, it's I told you I got the old packaging. So the new packaging looks something like this. I'll show you. I don't have a bottle of it, but this is how they change the packaging. If you can notice on the box, bottle is exactly the same, but on the box, the Dolce& Gabbana, the new one's written at the middle, okay, and the older one just is Intenso up here, and then base it says Dolce& Gabbana. So there is difference in packaging, okay? So this is the new one. I tested this one in a shop, and there is a significant difference in the opening. I mean, the older version, this one has a lot more oomph to it, and a little bit few more notes, like the tobacco and the lavender is a little bit more pronounced, and more spices. So basically, very nice velvety boxes, and this one reminds me of old days. Dolce & Gabbana Parfum, Purom, light blue, Purom. These fragrance boxes were different, a really nice feel to the box texture wise, and it's 125 mil EDP. Okay, yeah, EDP, and yeah, LPG 125 mil. So you get that it is also 75 mil version, which I don't see, and the bottle is just stunning. If I'll also show you the miniature. Sorry, yesterday I had a gathering and meetup that went great, but I had earlier some things to take care of. I had to go out, and the heat, when you like fasting, man, that heat yesterday was insane. So I kind of fell unwell. Okay, so yeah. So if you can see, this is the miniature cute little bottle of Dolce & Gabbana Purom. This used to come with a sticker, okay, the vintage version here. And this one was made in Italy, and a lot more lemon up top than the newer version. The newer version I had was made in France or something, and other one was England. The UK version is the worst, but it's okay, but more harsh. So if you see, this was transparent. This is more of a darkened look to the bottle. Um, if you see this somewhere, definitely give it a try, because this fragrance is very, very masculine, and I'll tell you some few fragrances which I find is similar nature. This is the cap, heavy cap bottle. Okay, so I'm wearing the fragrance on my hand. Let me do respray. Okay, so yeah, this one, let it settle down, it clicks. So this one has the notes of lavender, water notes, basil, geranium, marigold, tobacco, hay, clary sage, some floral accords or fruity accords, bran, I don't know what that was, bran, sandalwood, cypress, musk, amber, and labdanum. As opposed to this, the original, the Dolce&Gabbana Purom, the transparent bottle had citruses, bergamot, neroli, mandarin orange. That one was a little bit more fresh and citrusy. Then the lavender and pepper, sage, these were, the lavender is common with the Intenso, and then the tobacco, tonka, and cedar. So basically, Dolce& Gabbana Purom, whatever they made here, it was a fresh start, but it got a little bit more peppery, lavender, and then the tobacco. But it didn't become quite a dark fragrance, but remained like a fresh, almost like a fougere kind of masculine perfume, which Intenso made, and Intenso took it to the next level for, how do I say, darker. This is a darker take on that, the OG. And this is like a nighttime wear for me. And the pepper in this is a lot more amped up. So if you see, they said the almost similar notes, but it's less fresh. And I think they added that hay note and then few other notes, the cypress. So this got darker, and this is kind of fragrances. If you are looking in the market, like let's say in search of L'Instant de Guerlain Purom, I'm not saying they're the same, but the type, the darkness, a little bit of a masculinity, a little bit unique, sometimes bitter, sometimes opium purom, this kind of fragrances. If you're in the market, you will love this. This one does not offer so much sweetness. This is more of a dark lavender barbershop fragrance kind, and good for nighttime. It's mysterious, very mysterious, which is why I like it so much. And I'm very glad, I could find the older version, like this particular version. I know nowadays it's very hot and humid. I do not suggest this fragrance for summer, okay? Daytime, unless you have AC, unless you are working in a room where it's kind of cool, you can control the temperature. Outside in the high heat, humidity, I do not recommend this perfume. But I do not buy perfumes based on weathers, okay? I use them, but I do not buy them based on like, hey man, this is not summer fragrance, I'm not gonna buy it. No, I buy fragrances which speak to me. I buy fragrances which I would wear and I would like to keep in the corner, even if I reach for it only 5 or 10 times per year. But if I miss it, if I look for it, I'll keep it, I'll buy it. Okay, so this is such a gorgeous bottle once again. I really love the look of this bottle. And this reminds me of another fragrance that I had, 212 Sexy Man, in a way. That one also is a little bit different than 212 original. So yeah, if you want a bit classic, bit powdery, and bit of that lavender mixed with spices, this is the dark spicy lavender fragrance for nighttime. And I would say, if especially you have a little bit heavier occasion, not a typical casual hangout, let's say for Eid upcoming, how do I put it, like formal events, or you have holidays for a long time, you have to visit your friends, relatives. If you put this on with a traditional dress, man, this perfume is going to create an impression. I'll tell you one thing, nobody wear fragrances like this anymore. So it's a good thing you can bring it back in the rotation or in the trend by wearing this. People will not smell like you. You're gonna stand out because people are wearing mostly, on most parts, Sauvages, the typical Aventus, these DNAs are common. This is anything but common. So yeah, all those things are in favor of this perfume, and the performance is very, very good. In the colder months, you're gonna get about 8.5 out of 10 sort of push, and the 125 ml really, really helps. I really love these bottle sizes because nowadays companies are going stingy, stingier, and stingiest. Okay, and Aqua di Gio Absolute, man, a small 50 ml bottle is costing $200. And I look at that price point and I'm thinking I should rather buy Baccarat Rouge. That's a better value proposition. Easily, imagine that. An Armani perfume being more expensive in value than Maison Francis Kurkdjian, or by Kilian, or any of these houses. Like, what? For what? Amouage, you'd rather buy the niche, right? So for this price now, it's about, I think I paid 75. Okay, now back in the days when I got this, I think this fragrance costed around 60. Okay, so $15 more. I would say, yeah, it got expensive, but not significantly more. But you can see the shift from 2016 and now. Whatever Dolce & Gabbana sold, this one, then some of the other ones, someone just sneezed really, really hard. I'm sorry. Oh, There you go, second time. Okay, so I'm saying that the prices have shifted, but luckily this didn't go over $100 at that price. But I wouldn't buy it even for $85. I won't buy it. But I actually felt like it was a bit overpriced for because I first time got it for that price point. It was cheaper. But I'll tell you one thing. When I now look at the fragrance releases, just like the Acqua di Gio, Armani's Acqua di Gio, Elixir, the new one, whatever the Absolute new one. No, Absolute, not Absolute, the Elixir. And people told me it's not the biggest performer and it's not like anything groundbreaking. I do not think I support that, and compared to that, 125 mil, like it's like nowadays the new companies, like new fragrances, they're asking for like more for less. This, I am actually ready to pay the $15 extra and get this because this is part of my signature and then part of my journey, sort of, like I've been wearing this for many years. So yeah, it's a manly fragrance. The downside or criticism for this fragrance is it is a little bit love it or hate it. You can tell I have had few fragrances in my journey. I sold off and I bought it again. Sometimes I made 180 degrees and came back. But it was difficult for me to understand. Opium purum, difficult for me to understand. Terre d'Hermes, this falls into that family, okay? It's hard to understand, but if you see, compared with the simplicity and transparency of nowadays fragrances, which are kind of dumb sometimes, like tonka beans, like tropical notes, and then florals or something like, something of a very simple DNA, asking for $160. It's just lame, okay? I'm sorry to say. I mean, if you just smell tonka beans everywhere and the smell like the Le Beau Le Parfum, that typical, that DNA everywhere, and you pay $150 for it, it's just like, I don't understand. $75 would be great, double the price, no. So from that perspective, this is like that fragrance, okay? And I'll tell you, more so than bottle, it smells like the cover, okay, or the box. So now the revisit, I'll tell you, both are great. At first you will not see the similarity, you'll feel like totally different perfume, but on the dry down you'll see like this one is underneath, pepper and a little bit more hay and then cypress. Like this is fresher compared to this, fresher lavender, fresher fougere. But once you start seeing the similarity, then you'll see this is the darker brother of this. So at that point you can own both and you can enjoy, but this is a lot more darker than this. That's what I'm trying to say. So you can collect both. Absolute beautiful fragrances. If they discontinue these, if they didn't already, but if they do, then it will be a sad thing, okay? So I'm very happy I have it, and then I really am going to tell you, if you see this in the market, you don't need to blind buy this. At least try it, okay? And then walk around the mall, see how it changes. It changes a lot, and I feel sometimes this one has a leather note perhaps, okay? So very manly perfume, signatures and worthy. I rate this fragrance 9 out of 10. Dolce&Gabbana Intenso, great fragrance, 125 ml, excellent value. Let's do a list and then we'll upload it. Take care.